Now, do you know that reading for 15 minutes on a daily basis can literally rewire your brain, reduce stress level by over 60%, and help you to live longer in this life? You have probably heard that reading is good for you, but in this video today, they want to dive deeper into sharing 5 surprising science-backed benefits of reading on a daily basis. Please stay with me. Number 4 reason will completely change how you see books. Now let's look at the number 1 science-backed benefit why you must read on a daily basis. The first benefit is that it reduces stress significantly. In a 2009 study by the University of Sussex, it was found out that reading for just 6 minutes reduced stress levels significantly by 68%. That's more than listening to music or going for a walk. Now, somebody might want to know why. Why is it like that? Why does reading for just 6 minutes a day reduce your stress levels significantly to up to 68%. Now, the reason is that reading has a way of forcing your mind to focus, not shutting off all the distractions and all the anxiety-inducing distractions, right? Okay, so that is to tell us that anything that can remove both distractions and anxiety is something to pay attention to. You know that in the 21st century, we have anxiety flying in the air as a result of social media and as a result of all the news flying around. Some of the news we hear are such that induce fear, some induce anxiety. But if you can only pay attention to reading, what it says is that your mind will be forced to shut out both anxieties and distractions. And this is one of the reasons, one of the benefits, okay? Remember that this is not just something that somebody made up. It was a research that was carried out in 2009 by the University of Sussex. And that is why I am encouraging you to pay attention to reading. Remember, we are not talking about reading for 24 hours in a day. We are talking about reading for just a few minutes. It says for about 15 minutes a day, reading for about 6 minutes a day. That's what we are talking about. You can afford to do that, right? Can't you? The number 2 benefit is that reading on a daily basis fosters personal growth and mental resilience. Whether it is learning a new skill or gaining perspective, what it means is that reading on a daily basis helps to cultivate mental strength and personal transformation. And I want to say this, it is obvious, okay, from the stories of great men. There are men who have told us stories of personal transformation from reading on a daily basis, okay? When you talk about men like Dr. Miles Monroe, Tony Robbins, Terry Savelle, even T. Harv Eker, the world is filled with the stories of men who have come out to tell us that their lives took a turn for the better, that the transformation that we see in their lives was kicked off by reading on a daily basis, leaving us an example that we can also do that, okay? Recently, in one of my videos, I explained that the human being is made up of 3 distinct parts, okay? The human being is made up of 3 distinct parts. We have the body, the spirit, and the soul. And just the same way you nurture your body on a daily basis, you take your shower, you brush your mouth, you eat good food, you do your skin routine, you take care of your body generally. Now that's how also you should nurture your mind. You should nurture your mind on a daily basis, right? You should be able to read. You see, the human body, when you don't feed it, what happens? It grows weak and it grows drowsy. The person can even become sick, okay? Because man is a food-dependent creature. It's a food-dependent organism. When we don't eat, we die. That's how it is also. When the mind is not nurtured, the mind does not do well. You should be able to, on a daily basis, nurture your mind, feed your mind. And how do you feed your mind? Feed your mind by giving it relevant information, giving it good books to read. Now, when you read good books, it has a way of bringing a lot of benefits. We have talked about several benefits in my other videos, but today we are talking about the benefits that are backed by science. So it is scientifically proven that your life gets transformed, okay? You begin to move in the direction of transformation if only you can pay attention to reading just for a few minutes in a day. We are not talking about reading for hours. We are talking about reading in minutes, okay? Read for 10 minutes, read for 15 minutes, and it brings a lot of transformation into your life. The third benefit is that reading builds vocabulary faster than conversation. A research from the University of California says that reading improves your vocabulary by 50% more than watching television or engaging in regular conversations, okay? Now, of course, you know that anything that increases your vocabulary will ultimately increase your communication skills, it will increase your academic performance, and it will equally increase your ability to earn. So reading is a game changer when it comes to communication. So if you're someone who wants to be a better communicator, someone who wants to write better emails, someone who wants to stand on platforms and get people impressed by their communication skill, then you should be able to pay attention to reading. Now, you know, I hold webinars for mothers on how to give their children a reading culture, and a lot of the times the mothers who are in attendance or the parents who are in attendance, they will ask me, how do I increase my fluency? I want to speak fluently. What do I do? And my response to them always is read more books. Read more books, because when you read books, you acquire words. You don't even make a conscious effort to memorize these words. They just come to you by reading, okay? So just make up your mind to begin to read on a daily basis if you want to increase your fluency and if you want to be a better communicator. The fourth benefit is that reading helps you to live longer. That's amazing, isn't it? What it means is that reading has a way of increasing your longevity. It says that a long-term Yale study proves or shows that people who read for 30 minutes on a daily basis live an average of 2 years longer than non-readers. In other words, people who spend their time reading for 30 minutes in a day, that they spend an average of 2 more years longer than people who do not read. Can you imagine that? That's amazing, isn't it? This research goes on to say that the cognitive and emotional stimulation that we gain from reading books seems to have a protective effect on our health. That's amazing, isn't it? That just by reading 30 minutes a day, you can improve your longevity. You can improve the quality of your life. That's so beautiful. I believe it that the cognitive and emotional stimulation has a protective effect on our health. But at the same time, I want to believe that when you read for at least 30 minutes on a daily basis, that you will definitely come across some beautiful information that will help you to have a better quality of life, right? If you have watched my videos for quite some time, you will see that I've talked about my pastor, Reverend Tony Akiemi, who was diagnosed to have an incurable sickness years ago. Now, that was more than a decade ago. But by reading a book, a particular book by George McManus titled Why Christians Get Sick, he was able to get some information. He adjusted his lifestyle, adjusted his diet, and he's alive. He's very much alive. This is to show us that when we read, we come across information that we can act upon to increase the quality of our health. That also goes for our finances. You know, people who have said, I read and I adjusted this and that in my business and my finances improved by reading. A typical example is T. Harv Eker, the author of Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. He said he kept failing in business until his father's wealthy friend, through a challenge to him, asked him, have you noticed that poor people think differently from wealthy people? He said he didn't know, and the man said he should read, and he began to read, and he found out that it was actually true. And by reading, he came across certain information that helped him to turn his financial destiny around. So you see that we have every benefit in reading. Reading has a way of changing our lives dramatically. Someone said that books are like mentors, okay? So there is hardly any challenge you're faced with today that the answer or the solution is not found in one book somewhere. So that's why we encourage you to please find books and make sure you begin to read on a daily basis. Remember, once again, I keep stressing this, that when we say you should read on a daily basis, we are not saying read for hours. We are saying just have the discipline to read for a few minutes in a day, 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day. You will be able to get all these benefits that comes from books. The fifth science-backed benefit of reading on a daily basis is that it improves the quality of our sleep. And of course, you know that sleep is so important. So it is on record that when you read on a daily basis, read for a few minutes, especially at night when you want to go to bed, it said that it has a way, reading has a way of communicating to your brain that it is time to wind down, okay? It is time to wind down. And that communication has a way of helping to improve the quality of your sleep. But then it made a point. It says that it is when you read hard copy, physical books, not a screen-based book, okay? So when you read physical books close to bedtime, it has a way of communicating to the brain to wind down and to go to sleep. The research went ahead to say that scrolling on the screen just before bedtime has an opposite effect. In other words, it has a way of stimulating the brain. It has a way of, awakening the brain and causing sleep to become difficult, okay? Mayo Clinic says that having this habit of reading before bedtime can significantly improve the quality of our sleep. So you have seen the benefits of reading, and we say that it goes on and on and on. There are so many other benefits of reading. Now, somebody might want to ask, what do I do? Where do I start? How do I go about it? It's very easy. Make up your mind to take advantage of all these benefits, from giving you a longer life, to making your life stress-free, to giving you a good quality of life, from transformation that it brings to you. Just make up your mind to begin to read so that you can harness all these beautiful benefits. Start from where you are. All you need to do is get a good book, get books that align with your interests, and read for just a few minutes in a day. 6 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Remember what I said. We are no longer in the university where we have to do courses, even courses we don't want to do. This time around, we are talking about personal development. You are your own lecturer, you are your own professor. So pick the books that align with your interests and begin to read. The next thing you need to do is to schedule the time. Make it a routine. Make up your mind and say, okay, 30 minutes or 20 minutes in the morning, I'll read. Define the times when you will read. Why is this important? This is important because until something gets specific, it doesn't get dynamic. Okay, so make it a specific. Say, maybe I'll read for 10 minutes before bedtime, or I'll read for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes the moment I wake up in the morning. So make it specific so that it will become dynamic. Okay, the next thing you need to do is to avoid distractions. You know that our phones are a bundle of distractions. Notifications are always coming and all that, okay? So you want to read for just 5 minutes or 10 minutes in a day. Put your phones away so that you'll be able to focus, okay? You'll be able to focus. That's the best way to get the best benefit, to get the beautiful benefit from your reading, when you read without distractions. Thank you so much for being a part of this beautiful video. I want you to please write for me on the comment section the name of the book or the title of the book that you're going to start your reading exercise with. I'm sure that you're highly convinced that reading is good for you. So let me know the title of the book you want to start with. And if you got value from this video, I want you to subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up, and also share this link with another parent. Until I come your way next time, please keep reading.